Morning, everyone. 9 o'clock here in Auckland and 9 o'clock at night also in Europe. We're morning, of course, but anyway. 19th of January, and this is our last weekday here. We'll be doing tracker again over the weekend, but then I'm going to ask Lutz to see if he can do Monday, Tuesday or something, because we'll be travelling to Punta with about 7 or 8 bags. It's quite crazy. Anyway, all part of the fun, and everything's looking very interesting with the fleet right now. I'm quite surprised. A lot of fun stuff going on. They're certainly enjoying the ride weather-wise. You look at the tweets when Jane gets them up, you'll be quite impressed with some of the things going on. A lot of very happy sailors down there at the moment, and some interesting shenanigans. And for some strange reason, in fact, it's really sad. Explorer's stuck there doing 1.5 knots, watching the fleet fly away. And there's wind all around them. But anyway, let's go to the track. So what's the report on the tweets? White Shadow have declared they've seen a UFO, not in the sky, not in the water. We don't know. It could be in the sky because there's some space junk due to sort of come down soon. But I think they're referring to the water. And they know they're doing really well because they're seeing boats around them. Quite happy about that. Stern is also flying up from behind. So Jeremy will be happy with that. Anyway, let's get straight to it. So I'll hit this one here, and you should have the tracker. Yep, won't touch anything. Head over there. Okay, so, that's good news. Explorer's out of the hole. They're doing 7.3. They were doing 1.3 a minute ago. Anyway, and we've got a really tidy fleet here. Lots going on. Still grouped together pretty well. They're only, they're only 700, 800 miles out or something, but having fantastic sailing. And surprisingly, Spirit of Helsinki is doing 7.3 knots, but it looks as if they're right next to the high, definitely cutting the corner. It's an interesting situation because this is the run line, and everyone usually goes down. That's what I was saying yesterday as well. But they're all making good progress, so can't complain. So let's have a look at it. The amazing Explorer flying away at 7.3 knots and on a roll. Wind on the quarter, they'll be happy with that. They had a really good scenic coastal cruise yesterday. They only made 36 miles in the previous 24 hours. So 36, 46, 56, they've made 20 miles in the last 4 hours. That means they're absolutely in the breeze. It was really crazy because there was, I checked it out on Windy, and what was happening, you've got this wind shadow in close. So the air gradient's coming down as it hits the coast. There'd be mountains in the air and all that sort of stuff, and the air is lifting up over the top of the mountains, and so there was no wind, just right in close, probably only 5-8 miles offshore. There's virtually calm, but there's probably 15 to 20 knots out here. Still, finally the wind hit them and got them out, so they're on a roll, as I say. 7.3 knots, what can I tell you? Coming last everywhere, doesn't matter. They'll be having a great ride, and now not much is likely to change for them. They've got good sailing now out in the open. If we drop this back one, there's the big high here, and we just extend that a couple of days. You can see they've got plenty of breeze. They're going to run right along the top of this top of this sort of wind gradient there. Okay, so they have good sailing all the way down, no problem. So the next couple of days they're on a roll. They're about 450, 460 miles behind Stern, a bit of a benchmark, and that's going to keep them happy. Rightio. So we'll get back here to real-time weather today, and let's see. Slide them across to the fleet here. Okay, so interesting. You look at the fleet; they're all over the place. Certainly, Triana and Neptune down the bottom here. They've decided to come around, get back closer to the run line. They've got plenty of breeze, so that's kind of cool. Spirit of Helsinki still holding up there. They did get sucked up, had no option, but now they've got some options, maybe. All looking good. Penduic, 6 knots. That's pretty reasonable. Evrika, 7.6. So generally the fleet's moving quite well, but these guys have got more options, and they're still tucking south. You look at translated here. This is Simon. dipping straight south at 9 knots. So they're going for southerly while they've got that stronger breeze, and that's not a dumb thing either. So starting at the back of the fleet, stern is caught up really well. 6.3 knots, 159 nautical mile a day. And, that's right in the game for them. They've caught up heaps. Outlaw, not performing so well, but they're still doing 6.2, unusual for them. You would have thought they're normally higher up the fleet, 112 nautical mile a day. And then we come across to Evrika, 7.6 knots, 157 mile a day. And that's L'Esprit de Kit right on their hammer, 7.2 knots, 158 nautical mile a day. They're sailing alongside each other, basically. In fact, it'll be fun to see. Let's just see how close they actually are. I think they'll be looking at each other. Yep, there they are there, just to give a distance perspective. Bow to bow, 3.4 miles. So, yeah, they'd be looking at each other. They probably might see the nav lights, probably not, but during the day, they would absolutely see them. There's only 2.3. So, alongside each other, fun for them, absolutely. Okay, get rid of that. Come back here. So where did we get Outlaw, Evrika, and L'Esprit de Kit? L'Esprit de Helsinki, 7.3141 nautical mile a day. Penjuik, 6 knots, 147 mile a day. Galliana Secure, right up with Penjuik. Now you work that out. You sort of think, what the heck? But that's, once again, I mentioned it yesterday, they've got their mizzen staysail, they've got a blooper, they'd have the spinnaker up, all these sort of things. This is dream material for Galliana running downwind, and the sea state would be pretty mild. I think we find, let's just have a look and see what it's saying. The waves, I've got to get used to the new colours on this one. Yeah, still only a couple of metres. Slight blue gradient there. Colours aren't good on this computer as the last one. Anyway, I'm just going to check currents here because there's some funny things going on. No, there's nothing dramatic about the current, so nothing that it's all about sailing the wind. It's varying in different positions and different tactics. So there's no real big issue with currents. So anyway, back to the wind. So Galliana doing really well. And White Shadow, what can you say? They know where they're at. They're obviously talking in the chat sessions and just booming through the fleet. They're right alongside Maiden. So Maiden's dipping south now that the breeze has caught up with them. Maiden's doing 8.1, 155 nautical mile a day. I didn't give 165 mile a day for White Shadow. That's on top of Maiden, but it could be she's not following down the rum line, so it might be a little distortion there, but still not bad. 167 for Translated 9. So really, it's quite amazing what we're used to. You get used to the idea of where the boats had actually been sitting within the fleet, and you expect to see the same sort of performance on each leg, but it's changed. It really has changed, and it's looking very interesting. So I wonder what the future holds for the weather, and see what's going to how this is going to evolve. I think I'll go back one more here. So we'll push the weather forward a couple of days. Here we go. Pretty consistent northerlies and coming around to the northwest, depending on where it is, but good sailing. That's the bottom line. So there goes the first 24 hours. And the wind is going to increase a bit the further south you are. This is 45s. There's the waypoint right down the bottom on 50 south. So they've still got a long way to come, down south. And I think that's why you're seeing Translated and so on get down there. There's usually no issue with that. The further south you get, the more consistent westerlies generally you're going to get, either northwest or southwest, things like that. So it's still a good move to get south as quick as you can and make the most of it. So there's 20th, and then coming through there, it's going to go a bit light. This may work in Explorer's favour. Explorer won't get hooked up in this strong wind. They'll already be, by the time it comes in a couple of days, they'll be about 300 miles advanced. So they'll be down here. So they'll have a good breeze, a bit stronger, should be making good time. And they might close the gap another 50 miles or so over the next few days. But we'll have to wait and see. Depends what's on the menu. But you can see there the fleet there's going to be a soft spot. So by the 21st, which is a couple of days out, there's a soft spot, and they'll slow down a little bit, and Explorer might catch up a little bit, but they'll probably enjoy the break. It's been fantastic sailing so far. So this is coming through now, right through until the 19, 20, 21, 22. So let's just see where the fleet generally will be at that point, just to give an idea. Yeah, they're going to be down here somewhere. In 3 days' time, they're going to be sort of in this soft spot, and Explorer will be back here a bit. So, and this bigger wind, I don't think anyone will get hooked up in it, but we're keeping an eye on it, and it's sort of gusting into the 40s and 45s, but forecast is just under 35 at the moment on windy. So all is good there. That's about all I can tell you on that one. Let's have a look at the leaderboard, because it does start to work out now. Although the fleet is so bunched together, it's a bit hard to work technically who's we'll have a look just to see who's line honours technically. Translated 9, then Penjuic, and then White Shadow. White Shadow's third in line honours. Then Maiden, Triana. Triana's ahead of Spirit of Helsinki in line honours. Galliana with Secure after that. So, but it's a little bit technical because they're line abreast sort of thing down the run line. But it's great to watch. It's quite cool. The fleet's really hanging in there together. So on IRC, you can see it's not. There'll be some big discrepancies here. So Triana is first in IRC, performing really well. Then Translated 9, and she's got that by quite a few hours. So Triana on their IRC is nearly 15 hours ahead of Translated 9, which is pretty impressive. Galliana with Secure coming third, and she's only 3 hours or so behind, 4 hours or 3 hours, 4 hours behind Translated 9. And then White Shadow again, not far away from. Or a day and a bit from Galliana with Secure, and so it goes. Africa, Neptune, Maiden's right down there at the moment. So down around 7th, and L'Esprit de Keep and Penjuic. Penjuic is 9th in IRC, so she's going to be looking for some solid breezes when she's further south. Sterner, an Outlaw, and then Explorer. So that's all interesting as well. And what's the Southern Ocean look like? We looked at that before. Again, very benign. Very nice southern summer. So all looking very cool. So I'll drop that now and come back here and see what the comments are saying. I've got to slide that up. I can't even see where it is on this computer. I'll go back to the beginning. Okay, Neil, evening looks like been an exciting day. It sure has. Good day, Andrew. And the boats must have lots of fun close together. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Christian, they're going as they're screaming when they was parked in the calm there. Yep, Evrika and L'Esprit de Keep certainly inside of each other, talking on the VHF. Yeah, the South loves your weather report. Okay, cool. So not a lot going on there. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, everyone's happy right now. So there's some sound clouds that we've got in that Jane's putting up this morning. Jack had a chat to them, so that's all cool. So have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow. See you later.